Hi everyone, I'm Jim and welcome to review of The Darker Side of Nonsense, the debut record by the band Dry Kill Logic. Today we're celebrating the 25th anniversary of the release, decided to go back and see if it still holds up or not. My story with this band is quite simple. Around the year 2001-2002, my sister got a compilation CD called Download 2001 and it had 15 songs on it from various metal bands such as Machine Head, Spineshank, Fear Factory, Chimera, and it also had Dry Kill Logic Nightmare song on it. And when I first heard it, I was like, this is amazing, I need more of this band. But sadly, we didn't have internet at the time at home. And when I finally got it in 2008, the first thing I did was to get the entire discography of this band, just listen through it, and I wasn't disappointed. That's all I'm going to say. Sadly, Dry Kill Logic got signed to Roadrunner Records for their record debut, and as we all know, Roadrunner doesn't like to promote good music. They didn't care about Glassjaw, Dry Kill Logic, Downer, etc, etc. There's probably at least 50 bands that died because of Roadrunner Records. That label not promoting their own bands is something so silly and stupid that to this very day I still don't understand it. But putting that aside, the Darker Side of Nonsense still found some kind of success, people still talk about it after all those years, me included. The lineup on this release is Cliff on the vocals, Scott Thompson on the guitars, Dave on the bass and Phil on the drums and additional guitars. Sadly, both Scott and Dave left the band in 2002, and that hurts because, especially Scott, he did so much songwriting on this release that it's not a surprise that the next two records from this band do not sound similar to it. As you can see, we also have a lot of guest appearances on this release. We've got dudes from Primer 55, probably because they were recording their second release at the same time in the same studio. Rob provided some guitar, vocals and percussion. That's the dude who played in Boiler Room, then Anthrax, then Volbeat. He also helped produce this record, and we've got Eddie Vol, the producer, doing keyboards on the final song. The production is tight, it's clean but heavy, it has a life-setting vibe to it, urgency, everything hits perfectly, the drums are mixed phenomenally, same with the guitars, vocals and the bass. One of the best productions I have ever heard, and it's a shame that they didn't stay with those producers for their next releases. There's no loudness war and no clipping, obviously. Message is diverse, the songs are mostly about personal struggles, society, revenge, vengeance, struggling with fame and other people, relationship issues whenever it's friendship or actually love. There's a lot of interesting things happening here. I urge you to read the lyrics by yourself. Some of them are quite funny, but in a good way. Structure of the tracks is basic, standard intro, verse, because, bridge, chorus, outro. Sometimes the melody from the bridge comes back as the outro. Music wise, this is a nu metal release first and foremost, nothing else. Pure nu metal. Now let's talk about the performance. Let's start with the band's drummer. His playing is phenomenal. It's actually one of the reasons why I wanted to be a drummer. His double bass work, his precision, style, speed, intensity of his playing is just all over the top. It's just so good. The way he hits those cymbals, snare, toms, whatever, it just sounds so primal, so vicious, so full of energy. This is just my opinion, but if there was a different drummer performing on this release, it wouldn't hit as much as it does. Next we've got the bass work by Dave, and the bass is audible. He sometimes follows the guitars and sometimes he goes off on his own, and that's actually perfect and commendable. A fun fact for you, on the next records the bass isn't as hard and loud as on this album. Now let's talk about the guitar work, it's fabulous. I love how simple some of the grooves and the riffs are, standard 001, but it's just so primal, it has that groove to it. It wants to make you move and also it fills you with energy. It's intense. We also have some beautiful melodic hooks here and there, sadly no guitar solos, but what's also perfect is the fact that we get some cool old school Korn eerie guitar melodies here and there, especially on the 11th song. There's also an acoustic guitar playing on the final song, which is quite nice. Besides the guitars, bass and drums, we also have some DJ elements on this release, some scratching, it works perfectly, I love it, more music needs that. Last but not least, we've got Cliff with his vocal performance, and whoa, it's off the charts. He has that one of a kind sounding growling or screaming, he just shouts so viciously. You cannot mistake him for anybody else, it's like David Draymond singing. I just love the emotions, the anger and sadness he puts into his words, and you can feel it with your soul. Besides that, he also does some singing here and there, and it sounds beautiful. You can tell that the singing was not taught, like it's not done the correct way. Melissa Cross would cry that you're hurting your vocal cords, whatever, but it sounds wonderful here. And especially in today's day and age, you won't find these kinds of vocals, because nowadays everything is so over-processed and fake and it sounds like shit, but here it sounds perfect. Now let's rate the individual songs. The album opens up with Nightmare, the first song I've heard from this band, because it was on that Download 2001 compilation I've heard as a small child. I love that weird sound on the beginning, poo poo, poo poo, poo poo, and then the main guitar riff comes up, and then the groovy drums. Simple but effective, then the break before the verse happens, the build up, you take it away. I love every single section here. The "you worthless piece of shit" bridge section is also fantastic. There's nothing to hate about this song, it's perfect from beginning to the end, but I'm going to surprise you, this is the third weakest track on the release. Still 10 out of 10. Feel the Break has a very cool intro with the guitar. This entire song was written just by Scott Thompson, the guitarist who quit after this release, so that's sad because you can tell he writes perfect songs. Then we get a cool bass line as well and the vocals. You remember, I will always see you for the liar you are. And if I were gone tomorrow, then finally you'd see all my scars. Sorry, I'm not a singer, but I just love that verse, that singing, the emotional fragility in it. Then the heavy tough vocals come in, this what got the best of me, won't try to even, something like that, and I just love it. Then the chorus happens and it's so groovy, so fun to listen to. I feel the break, I to feel the break, I to feel the break, something like that, and it just sounds bonkers. It's so much fun, the entire song is. The build up before the bridge is also fun. Even when I try, I cannot seem to find one good reason why I should really feel like pure nu metal stuff. It pumps you up with energy, it puts you in a great mood. This is what I want from music. 11 out of 10. This will suck. Enough! Pussy shit! That call out at the beginning is so funny, I will never forget about it. This is a classic. This track yet again has punch to it and playfulness when it comes to the vocal performance. Like he's just screaming rah 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 rah, and then he just goes without, something like that. Just 1 second of and it sounds so funny, but in a good way. Then we go to the chorus. Pain, it's taking away my pain, it's taking away my The bridge is my favorite moment because they add the DJ on top of very cool wonky guitar riffs that remind me of the first Korn release. They have that sound like something is not right, but also they pump you up with energy, so this entire song is a classic, same as the previous one, nothing to complain about here, 11 out of 10. Nothing is one of the highlights of this release. I love the intro, especially that main guitar riff. And then the vocals come in. Do you want to step to this? Wanna mess with this? This song has enough energy to power a nuclear device, like it would go off instantly. The verses are genius, and then we get that chorus which just oozes with aggression. Yet again, the guitar riff is so simple but effective, it puts you in the right mood. Then we get a moment to take a breath with that I have nothing, you've given me nothing, and I thought we had something to believe in, deceiving. That's the chorus and it works, I do enjoy it, especially how it turns into the bridge section at the end, where the song after the second chorus mellows down, we get some bass line, doom, 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 and then whispering, which is fantastic. I have nothing. Then it changes into talking and then screaming. It builds up to the outro, which is yet again full of energy. Nothing! Fantastic guitar riff. 12 out of 10. Assfault. Look at that title. Real 12 here. Haha. Anyways, this is the weakest song on the release, not just because of the title, but because it just sounds like a filler track, to be honest. I still do enjoy the vocal performance and the melodies, but the energy here is missing, something that's on every single other song on this album. I actually would love to know if this song was written in the studio, or maybe it was like a B-side that they've thrown in because they had to have 12 songs on the album. Anyways, I do enjoy the chorus. Now I think not you right to think. Sorry, I don't remember the lyrics for this one, but it sounded like that. 8 out of 10. Wait is another highlight of this release. It has a fantastic intro. Doom 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 doom. Some effects on the vocals at the beginning. And I pray salvation leaves you here. That main groove, the drumming here is so vicious, I love it with all of my heart. Then we get the pre-verse, which is quite interesting, because it has those slightly death metalish guitar riffs, and cool bassline, boing boing boing. I bear this weight for you. Then we get the great chorus, and what's interesting here is that the lyrics are always completely different. So for the first time and the second time the words are completely different, and I respect that. The pressure grates on me, yet I am loath to find some sort of middle ground to work at compromise. You'll never understand what all this does to me. I'm keeping you alive, and yet it's killing me. That's such a good line that I'm just lost at words here. Weight, all of the weight, can't stand the weight, constantly crashing, punching on me, something like that. That's like the main chorus, and I love it. I love every single section here, one of the best songs I've ever heard, 12 out of 10. A Better Man Than Me has a great main guitar riff. Some cool harmonics here. The groove is impeccable, the drums are fantastic. I can say he's a better man than me. I can say he's a better man than me. I can say he's a better man than me. What you want, what you need. But the main highlight, at least for me, is the bridge section with that "fuck you, don't tell me" line. It's silly but fun at the same time, and when it comes back in the outro, when he does that line, there's also like noise happening, and it might be backwards, but it just sounds like such a cool effect. I wish more music would do that. My only complaint about this one is that it's more repetitive than the rest of the songs, 10 out of 10. Rat is not a song, it's also not a sandwich, it's a way of life. This is easily in my top 10 songs of all time, no matter the genre of the music. I love this one so much that 5 years ago for the 20th anniversary I did a guitar cover of it. I might put it up on this channel as well so you can see it. Besides that, I've prepared a Doom MIDI cover of this one for the anniversary as well, and it's going to get posted today, so stay tuned for that. And also, I know this song by heart, every single section, every lyric, I just love it. Even if the lyrics are a little bit angsty, they have that teenage vibe to them. But that doesn't matter. What matters is the groove, the nu metal groove in this song, and it's impeccable. The first riff, then you get the second riff, then you get the third riff, the hidden riff behind the verse, the bridge riff, and the breakdown riff. Every single one of them is simple but effective. It brings me immense joy hearing those riffs. But the riffs wouldn't hit as much if the drumming wasn't even better, and it actually is. The drummer is outdoing himself in this song because his playing complements the guitar riffs so much that you will actually stop focusing on the riffs. You're just going to hear them in your head, in your mind, and you're going to enjoy them, but the drumming will take the center stage. And the drums are just in perfect harmony with the guitar riffs and the bass lines, and then we also get vocals on top, which also perfectly match what is happening sonically. The countdown by the drummer, we get the verse, unaffected by the bullshit you shout calls, unprotected, naked so we see your flaws, violated, you must think we see this disrespected, just remember it's or else you kiss, just so funny to hear. Rather don't like me, I hope you, rather don't like me, I hope you. I cannot do this with my voice because it's too hard for me, but it sounds wonderful. Then we get the bridge with I love that one. They have scattered throughout this song a couple of moments that only occur once, and you get them, you like them, you are happy when they show up. Love the vocals in the outro. I don't like you, can't you see that? Why won't you leave me alone? And as this pattern repeats and repeats, the final two ones are completely different, like they follow that same 001 structure, but the drumming just goes off with the crash cymbals and the hits. At the end we get a funny outtake that the vocalist thinks he messed up the song, but he didn't, and we hear some other dude scream, "It's on, bitch!" That's it, it's a perfect song, 13 out of 10. Track 14, I don't know why it's called that, maybe it was recorded as the 13th song. Anyways, that title actually would cause some problems on the site Last.fm, where in the past, around 2012-14, you wouldn't be able to scrabble this song, it wouldn't go through. Nowadays that was fixed, but back then it was a problem. Anyways, this is a fantastic song. It's a palate cleanser after Rat, which could topple governments with its energy. So here we have more laid-back verses than screaming in the choruses sometimes. Beautiful main guitar riff, more somber drumming as well, at least in the verses. And I will say what's on my mind, if I can find my way from here, or I will stay a fallen man, if I can find my way from here. That's like the verse. I think I did a good job. Comment me in the comment section. Not just joke. Then we get the heavy chorus with still the same, rah, rah, rah. He just sounds like an angry bulldog. Then we get the cool line with now I see the light, now I see the light, now I see the light. And I like how they play with that line, because the last time you're going to hear it, it transforms into growling. Now I see the light, now I see the light. And then they subvert your expectation, because they go back to singing that line at the end, and the growling and the singing meets halfway there. Now I see the light, now I see the light. Something like that. It's a wonderful, playful thing to do. This band had that cool knowledge that when you repeat something it doesn't have to be the same, you can shift around some things and it's still going to be a chorus that you've heard before, but it can be sang differently, some accents can be way different, and that's actually commendable. I miss that from music nowadays. 12 out of 10. Give Up, Give In, Lie Down features the vocalist and the guitarist of Primer 55, Bobby Burns and Jason. Jason, rest in peace. I also did a guitar cover of this one on my other channel. I do love this song, I love the main guitar melody. Here I lie, a broken man that waits to die. It's no good, but I wonder why you have left me here, my bride. Forgave. Rise! Rise! Yet again, I love the drumming, the bass lines, the accents here whenever the choruses slightly change. Give up, give in, lie down, I never will. Give up, give, lie down, I never will. Good message in the lyrics, fantastic song all the way. 11 out of 10. The Strength I Call My Own is also a highlight of this release. The intro just with the drums is quite fun, then we get the main guitar riff do 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 doom do 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 doom. That's actually my least favorite part about this song. Then we get that more build up with do 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 doom. Cool riff, which transitions into the verse with something like that. I do enjoy it because underneath the vocals, the drumming and the main guitar riff, which is quite fun, we get that very evil sounding nu metalish riff. For some reason it reminds me of the video game First Encounter Assault Recon, which came out 4 years later, not sure why. Then we get that cool moment with do 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 lies, do 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 lies, do 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 lies. And you can hear that when he screams lies, there's like an effect above his voice with lots of whispers, like 20 whispers at the same time. I love that. I need that kind of stuff more in music, and it annoys me that nowadays nobody wants to do it because it takes time, because it requires patience and doing something. Then we get that chorus section, so to speak, and it's trying that I will call my own, something like that, and we go back to the cool verses, which I love. After that we get the bridge. I love that moment. It comes back as the outro as well, and it's fantastic. After the first one we get that cool bit up with everything I said comes back to haunt me. Everything I say will come back to haunt me. Again, some cool riffs. Fun song from beginning to end. I feel like it's a little bit underrated because it's almost at the end of the release. 11 out of 10. Good Night, the final song here, is a small little acoustic ballad which I actually do enjoy quite a bit. It sounds nostalgic and pure. You can troll people that do not listen to metal music by sending them this song, because I'm sure they will enjoy it. Especially the hidden track. Now that I face the world with pain inside, it's strange but I can't understand the reasons why. That's like the verse, and what I enjoy about this song, that as they go into the chorus, yet again the vocalist changes the accent points here and there, which is quite fascinating. I guess it's best we say good night. It makes no difference if we're wrong or right. Something like that. He always changes that, and that's quite cool. It's a beautiful song from beginning to the end. 11 out of 10. Then we get Sub, which is a hidden track about some dude who passed out at a party because he got too wasted and people are making fun of him. We get the vocalist of the band screaming, Sub, It's funny, it's heavy. When I first heard this record almost 20 years ago, it jump scared me. It was hilarious. 10 out of 10. To sum it up, the consistency is stable, the flow is ideal, reparability. Yeah, this is a timeless release, one of the best records of all time. Easily in my top 10, right up there with Nothing Face, Skeletons, Fallujah, Undying Light, Decrepit Birth, Diminishing Between Words, Decrepit Birth, Polarity, 36 Crazy Fists, Bitterness the Start, Death, The Sound of Perseverance. Those are my all-time favorite music records. The only thing I would change about this release would be to remove Assfault song, not because it's bad, but because it's just not on the same level as everything else here. Besides that, this is a fantastic time. You can tell that they had massive fun while working on this release. It oozes with energy, intensity, aggression, but also positive vibes at the same time. The highlights for me are Rat, Wait, Nothing, The Strength I Call My Own, Track 13, Pain, Feel the Break, Better Man Than Me, Give Up, Given, Lie Down, Good Night, Nightmare, and some. Just every song here is the best one, except Assfault. Also, because not many people are going to watch this anyway, I've got here a picture. These are my comments of Last FM about this album on its anniversary back in 2014 and 2024. Isn't that cool? I never forget about the anniversary of this release. I always have to jam it on the day. So celebrate your sleep by spinning this record today, it deserves your love and attention. If you enjoyed this review, give it a like and subscribe, follow me on my Instagram, links in the description, shout out all my Patreon supporters who graciously sponsor these videos, you're truly wonderful. You can join them if you'd like, so I can make you an album review, do MIDI cover, rig video of your choice. See you next time, bye!